Hello, my topic is glucocorticoid-induced osteoporosis. My name is Oscar Yupa Buñay, Medical English Dr. John Moscoso. Definition: Glucocorticoid-induced osteoporosis is a form of osteoporosis that is caused by taking glucocorticoid medicine. These drugs include prednisone, deltasone, orasone, prednisolone, dexamethasone, and cortisone. They are common treatments of many rheumatic, joint, and muscle diseases, including rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, myositis, muscle inflammation, and polymyalgia rheumatica.
As a rheumatologist, we have a very, our patient population, people that come in through the door to see us have pain, and frequently they have pain from osteoporotic fractures. And also they're on medications that lower their bone mass and create osteoporosis. So we use in our practices many medications to treat osteoporosis. There aren't very many right now. We have anti-resorptive agents, which include the bisphosphonates and denosumab, and then we have one anabolic agent, teriparatide, which we use. Patients need to take an injection once a day for 2 years. We need more medications that will increase bone mass or be anabolic agents. And we're hoping that abaloparatide, because it is a bone-forming agent, appears to have more bone-forming activity than resorbing activity, so the bone mass appears to go up a bit faster than we see with teriparatide, that if approved and safe, as far as we've seen now, there have been no safety signals. We're going to welcome this compound to treat our patients with osteoporosis that we see in our rheumatology practices. Patients have it. Therefore, although this medication has not been tested for its effect to treat steroid-induced or glucocorticoid-induced osteoporosis, we're hopeful that those studies will be done, and we'll also be able to offer this to our patients that have severe bone loss from glucocorticoids.
Application in medicine. Glucocorticoid medication have both direct and indirect effects on bone tissue that lead to bone loss. These drugs have a direct negative effect on bone cells, resulting in a reduced rate forming new bone. Also, they can interfere with the body's gathering of calcium and affect levels of sex hormones. Either of these problems can lead to increased bone loss. Anyone who is taking glucocorticoid medication and has other risk factors for osteoporosis increases their risk of develop and breaking a bone fracture. You can change some of these risk factors, but not others.
When I came to CHIO 15 years ago, I met a number of children who had been on steroids for a period of time and presented with advanced serious osteoporosis. And this was a concept that we didn't really have as bone health clinicians, that children could have such serious and advanced osteoporosis, that is fractures, in the context of their underlying diseases. So we set out to understand it better, to learn when these children develop their fractures, what the earliest signs are, whether they can recover from those fractures, and how we should best be monitoring them in order to pick it up early so that we can treat them before it gets too advanced. So I met Emerson almost a decade ago. So Emerson was about 9 when I first met him. So that was about 8, 9 years ago. And he came to me upon referral from his neurologist for an evaluation of his bone health and his growth in the context of Duchenne muscular dystrophy, where he'd been receiving steroids. And we knew that steroids had the potential to affect Emerson's bones and also to affect his growth. And so the referral to my clinic was to evaluate all those aspects and see if there was something that we could do to help.
I call it the miracle drug because I have pain in my back for like 1 to 2 weeks before my treatment. And on the day of my treatment, it goes away.
And so indeed, when Emerson came to see me, he did have the early signs of osteoporosis. And so we did start him on therapy, and he had back pain along with that. The therapy was effective in controlling his back pain, and basically he's been receiving the therapy for the last 8 years to keep his spine nice and strong and to keep his back pain at bay so that he can stay on his steroids for as long as he wants, because the steroids are what are keeping the strength up in Emerson's case, given the Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
When I first started, I didn't know what to do. I had so much back pain, and I was a little like, should I do this? And I'm not going to look back. I'm glad I did it. Just want to say thank you to Dr. Ward for suggesting this treatment.
Pros and cons. Pros. They help avoid graft rejection, surprise action, against collagen disease with have in common flavonoid degeneration of the collagen fibers of the fibroblasts and fundamental sentences of the mesenchyme of the unknown etiology and generally scarred. Cons. The loss more trabecular bone than cortical bone, so they have a higher rate of bone loss in the spine than in the hip. Decrease in lean body mass. Postmenopausal women are at the increased risk of developing osteoporosis after exposure to glucocorticoid.
Give me that. Bring it. Bring it.
Playing on the floor with her dog Belle wasn't possible for Robin Brunkel after she slipped, breaking her back last Christmas.
The pain was bad, you can't even cry. It's like type pain.
The moments leading up to the fall began back in 2007 when Robin was treated for asthma with the steroid prednisone. It led to osteoporosis and a condition that causes her bones to crumble.
Avascular necrosis is where the bone gets deprived of blood.
Her airway collapsed.
My bones were so frail that the coughing from when they put the tracheal stent in, I broke 4 ribs. Even by simple walking, the foot broke twice.
Robin also broke her pelvis and had to replace both shoulders and hips.
Conservative management.
Dr. Sean Tutton at Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin says while Robin is an extreme case,
osteoporosis is the main cause of these fractures. You're walking, you're doing stairs, you're doing maybe light weights. Those are the things that help to preserve your skeleton.
In Robin's case, Dr. Tutton devised a way to fix her pelvis with medical-grade cement.
We inject the cement to basically glue that back together again.
When she broke her back, he used the cement and a new spine implant known as Kiva that works like an internal cast to heal her spine. Now Robin's back on her feet.
Sometimes when you think there's no hope.
Issue applied in Ecuador. Approximately 0.5% of the general population and 1.7% of women over 55 years of age receive oral glucocorticoid, and despite the existence of diagnostic methods and adequate measures to prevent GIO, less than 14% receive some type of treatment to avoid loss of the bone mass due to glucocorticoids. In patients with rheumatic disease, such as rheumatoid arthritis, systemic lupus erythematosus, ankylosing spondylitis, polymyalgia rheumatic, and vasculitis. Among others, osteoporosis is an associated comorbidity. This may be due to the use of glucocorticoid over long periods of time as part of the assisted therapy of this disease, or it may also be associated with the inflammatory activity of the condition and its impact on the bone. In any case, these patients are more likely to suffer fractures due to fragility, which leads to a decrease in the quality of life.
10 million Americans have osteoporosis and 18 million more are at risk. The bone disease leads to an increase in fractures in the hip, spine, and wrist, accounting for 1.5 million painful fractures each year. Here's one woman's story about ways to prevent and treat it.
Give me that. Bring it. Bring it.
Laying on the floor with her dog Belle wasn't possible for Robin Brunkel after she slipped, breaking her back last Christmas.
The pain was bad, you can't even cry. It's like type pain.
The moments leading up to the fall began back in 2007 when Robin was treated for asthma with the steroid prednisone. It led to osteoporosis and a condition that causes her bones to crumble.
Avascular necrosis is where the bone gets deprived of blood. My bones were so frail that the coughing from when they put the tracheal stent in, I broke 4 ribs. Even by simple walking, the foot broke twice.
Robin also broke her pelvis and had to replace both shoulders and hips.
Conservative management.
Dr. Sean Tutton at Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin says while Robin is an extreme case,
Osteoporosis is the main cause of these fractures. You're walking, you're doing stairs, you're doing maybe light weights. Those are the things that help to preserve your skeleton.
In Robin's case, Dr. Tutton devised a way to fix her pelvis with medical-grade cement.
We inject the cement to basically glue that back together again.
When she broke her back, he used the cement and a new spine implant known as Cava that works like an internal cast to heal her spine. Now Robin's back on her feet.
Sometimes when you think there's no hope, there's hope.
Conclusion. As doctors who are experts in diagnosing and treating disease of the joints, muscles, and bones, rheumatology can help find the cause of the osteoporosis. They can provide and monitor the best treatments for the condition. Anyone taking glucocorticoid medicine must get enough calcium and vitamin D. The American College of Rheumatology recommends you should take at least 1,200 mg of calcium and 800 to 1,000 international units called U of vitamin D supplement each day.
I'm very lucky. We live in a beautiful part of Wales. Throughout my life, myself and my partner Peter have enjoyed getting out into the hills. I have been a teacher for the last 20 years. Absolutely adored being with the children in the classroom, taking them out on school trips. and I absolutely loved it. The day when everything changed was just another Thursday. I went to school, did my teaching until lunchtime, and then all of a sudden I just felt this horrendous pain at the bottom of my back. The pain was agony. I couldn't walk. I was holding onto tables, and I knew that something was seriously wrong. We just assumed it was some kind of back spasm and had 5 weeks of physiotherapy on the pain. It was just getting worse. We asked for an MRI scan, which we had the next week. I had very severe osteoporosis, which came as a huge shock. The osteoporosis and the break caused by that has caused permanent nerve damage, which means I'm in constant pain. I'm on countless medications, and I have morphine patches, which keeps the pain to a bearable level so I can function. It's changed my life completely, and it's turned it upside down. I can't walk at all without 2 crutches. Most of the time outside the house, I use a wheelchair. I've had to leave the career that I love. I've lost my 20 years of teaching experience. I've lost my income, and now my partner has had to become, in real terms, my carer. It has been very difficult to come to terms with the fact that I am now disabled. I did turn to the National Osteoporosis Society because I wanted lots of information, and during your hospital appointment you only have a certain amount of time. The information that I got from the helpline and the website has helped me in as much of telling me how to manage my daily life, how to avoid any more fractures. They are the experts, and the people on the helpline are so nice, and it was ruining my life, and I needed to talk to somebody, and they were there.
Thank you.